It's a lot more loopy down here than it is right here because up here it's pulled more tightly into her bun. So this has a little bit more of a loop before being scooped up into the bun. I'm just going to kind of follow that. Again, notice how light my touch is so that I'm able to go back and erase if I need to. And using my 4B to start with, I'm going to find those moments of darkness and build up layers of value with my 4B until I can't get any darker. And that's when I'll switch to my 8B. And see how I'm still following the direction of the hair. Alright, can't go any darker, so now I'm going to start adding where it's really dark, which is right here. And then there's another little area of dark. I think she's got some more, oh, she's got more hair back here that I'm forgetting. And you can leave this all rough if you want, if you like that kind of textured graphite look. Or you can go in with your blending stump and just blend everything out so that it's a little bit smoother. And remember, if you use steel wool, it'll be a lot smoother. And that doesn't just apply to charcoal, that applies to any medium except ink and paint, obviously. And then you can also use your blending stump to draw, right? So like maybe there's a few little wispy baby hairs happening. You can kind of add those in. Now when it comes to graphite and, like for instance, the ear, less is more. So using your blending stump to shape the darker areas of the ear is smart, because our ear is, you know, just fleshy. Doesn't have any hard edges, it's very soft. And here we're dealing with ear behind hair. There's always a little bit of a tiny triangle of darkness underneath the earlobe that connects to the jawline. I don't know that I've ever seen a person without that, unless they're just bathed in light. See how it's a tiny dark triangle surrounded by a little bit less dark triangle, and then depending on the figure and the face that you're looking at, it'll blend in different ways from there or just completely disappear. She's got some darkness of her hair right beneath her ear. This is where her neck kind of starts. There's an earring coming out this direction. So just more hair. It's just really dark right up against her neck, her ear, and her earring. See how my value goes right up to the edge to define that line rather than just using an outline? Especially good for the ear because again, the ear is just cartilage and some of her hair. It's not hard. It's very, very soft. There's always a little shadow on the earlobe behind the jawline, so right there. Find the edge of the ear a little bit. I can even see a shadow from the earring. It's dropping down. It seems too dark. I'll lighten that up. She's got the black tips of her hair are kind of originating from here. And they're interrupting all of this. And then her hair does some other things. But I do want to talk about this. So similar to what I was talking about here, this piece of hair, chunk of hair comes down. And what's happening is it starts dark. And as light kind of hits the top of that wave or curl, it gets lighter in value and then goes back again to darkness. That's kind of the typical wave value pattern. So again, I like to start with a lighter touch and build my darks. And then as I make that flick mark, I'm following how it does this. It waves down and then up. So concave, convex. You see how I'm leaving that area lighter because I'm just kind of feathering them towards the highlight. So now I'm going to go in with my darker pencil. build a little bit more, build a little bit more towards that light area. Do the same from this direction. You can leave it like that if you like, or if you want it to have an actual highlight, you can use one of your erasers to go in and just kind of take some of that value out, and then come back in with your lighter pencil and feather that a little bit more so that it's feathered and a little bit more ombre from dark to medium to light to then highlight. And there's another piece of hair here, but I want to move on to skin tone and things like that. So really you're just doing the same thing. You're following the pattern of value. So I've already outlined a little bit of this shape and of this shape. So we're going to work on the neck and jawline area. So since the skin is so soft there, and since I already have so much graphite on my blending stump, I'm just going to use it to kind of block in values. I'm not pressing down hard, and I'm using as much of the side of this as I can, and I'm turning and spinning as I go, so I'm keeping it fairly sharp. My battery is dying. I'll try to do it quickly. Also, I want to clean that edge up because that hair goes right behind her neck and it looks like it's growing out of her neck. So let's fix that. Remember, value edge against different value edge, not outline. And the lighter your touch is, the more sensitivity you have when you put down marks, even with the blending stump, the easier it's going to be to add value and move value around. Because just like with colored pencil and burnishing, you're kind of doing the same thing if you bear down so hard, even with the blending stuff. Okay, I lost my image. But we know that this is the shape of a value, this is a shape of a value, so I'm just going to lightly kind of fill them in with a light value, a soft edge. Now we know that the head is casting a shadow on the neck, which means the shadow right up under the jawline on the neck is going to be a little bit darker than what's happening on the actual jawline. So using my 4B, I'm going to add a little bit of value, but look how far back I am on the pencil. So I'm not putting down a ton of value, I'm not being heavy-handed at all. And since I went this direction with applying value, I'm going to go this direction.